Greetings everyone on a bright and sunny day. The weather report is simply this. It's hot, it's muggy, and there's a chance of thunderstorms. Hey, but we're not here to talk about the weather. We're here to talk about Psalm 130. It's you have to understand that during the long Pentecost season that lasts all the way until next Advent in the end of November, beginning of December, we are going to be in a position where we can choose different Old Testament readings, and along with the Old Testament reading that could be different from the other one is the Psalm reading. So I'm doing what's called track 2, all right? So if you have the Revised Common Lectionary at your disposal, you can see those 2 different tracks that are going on. And in addition to that, there's even the narrative track that we can be taken. So there's a lot of options for people to make their way through Scripture as they come together to worship. And that would be in addition to just picking certain things and working on those. So Psalm 130 is what's assigned to this coming Sunday. Psalm 130 is one of those Psalms of Ascent. There's 15 of them. Oh, okay. Hey, we can do this. This will be like a Testy Tuesday type question, even though it's Wednesday. What are the Psalms of Ascent? Are those the ones that smell real good? Or are those the ones that you sing and pray as you're moving into the holy city up to the temple to worship? Yeah, it's B. It's not the first one. It's number B. So there's 15 of those, but some people even say, hey, you know, there's 15 steps that were leading up into the temple proper that the priests would stand on and sing some of these psalms along with the travelers as they're making their way to Jerusalem. But most likely, they're a set of psalms that are prayers that you would pray on your way from your home to Jerusalem. So you're moving up toward to Jerusalem, and you're singing these psalms of ascent, moving up, ascending to God's holy house. And now what we have in the Psalms of Ascent, there's 15 of them. This is number 11. And they cover a wide range of things. There are psalms of lament. There are psalms of praise. There are psalms that are, well, there's one that even extols the king of Israel and kind of encourages him to do his thing. You know, all those different, it encompasses a lot of different types of psalms, let's put it that way. This one is an individual lament that actually turns into a community lament. But just imagine, as we look at it, and look at any of these Psalms of Ascent, that you're traveling with a bunch of people going to worship at the temple, and you're encouraged to do that at least during the major holidays. And as you're doing that, all together, you're singing these psalms. And maybe this particular psalm isn't for you. Your life is good for you, and you don't find yourself begging God to deliver you, which is what we're going to see in this psalm. But you know what? You're singing it along with the others and sharing in their sorrow, their grief, their time of difficulty. So let's just take a look at it real quick. It's not that long. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. Hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If you, O Lord, should mark iniquities, Lord, who could stand? You know, in other words, if you sit there and pull out a list of all my sins, I'm toast. You know, I'm going to be flat on the ground at any moment. But there is forgiveness with you, so that you may be revered. Now, another word for revered is feared. But this is a good word, revered, to mean that we put all of our trust and our hope in God. Not that we're running scared and we're hiding behind every tree because God's going to zap us for all the bad stuff we did. No, there is forgiveness with you. And because there's forgiveness with you, I can't dare to come to you like this. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in His word I hope. My soul waits for the Lord more than those who watch for the morning. More than those who watch for the morning. That's repeated twice. Why? Well, because those who watch for the morning were the sentinels especially in the time of warfare, and seemed like they were always going to war against this group or that group in Israel. It sounds a little bit like today, doesn't it? Yeah. And as they're going to war, remember, there's no artificial lighting anywhere, and it's dark. It's dark. And they have sentinels posted all around the cities, peering into that darkness, looking for any possible sign of movement. And they're just hoping and waiting that that sun rises at any minute so that they can be spared and the enemy can't sneak up on them. All right. Oh, Israel. Now this is something that the person who's singing this psalm, or the whole group who's singing this psalm, they're now calling on everyone who's traveling with them, the whole people of Israel. Hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is steadfast love. Oh my goodness, there it is again. That has said the steadfast love of God. Okay, and with him is great power to redeem. It is he who will redeem Israel from all its iniquities. Now, there's that word iniquity. We already had it in this psalm. Iniquity, that's all over the Old Testament. Over 200 times it appears in the Old Testament. It's talking about that deep gulf, that separation between us and God because of the silly and stupid things that we've done. To God, to ourselves, to each other. So depending on what scripture passage you're reading, you get a little different insight in that. And pay attention to our Old Testament lesson coming up, and I'll be talking about that tomorrow. You're going to see the first time that this really appears in scripture. And you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, go all the way back to the book of Genesis. And hey, it's right there toward the beginning. Separation between God and human beings. But beautiful psalm. One of the Psalms of Lament, and there are 7 of them in the Psaltery, that in the Middle Ages, the Pope told the Christian people of the church, you need to recite these Psalms, these 7 Psalms, every day. And if you can't get to it every day, at least do it on a Friday, okay? On Friday, you will recite all 7 of these Psalms because they implore us and show us the way to a God who is loving and cares for us, even with all of our iniquities. All right, get ready to sweat it out today, because I'm all set too. God's blessings be with you.